All right. So we're back. Sorry about that abrupt ending. Hopefully you made it to standing, had yourself a sip of water. Hopefully you can see me while I'm standing up. You may notice we switched cats. So let's get right into it, okay? So because you had your break, let's do our teapot side stretch, because this has definitely the look of a cat in profile. Here's the cat's tail. This also looks like the teapot. Take a nice deep breath, and then exhale over to one side. My feet are parallel. That accentuates the side stretch. And as I've always said, don't just pick on this rib here. Expand from hip to shoulder, and then knee to elbow, and then maybe see if you can feel a gentle pulling from ankle all the way up to your wrist. And then inhale, reach up, come back, side. So I'm going to just face you, but I'm going to switch sides. Okay, so make your teapot. So we've switched arms. Make your teapot or cat profile. Take a nice deep breath and exhale over. So first you feel it in your ribs, most likely. And then, so first expand through all your ribs, not just that bottom rib. And then from hip to shoulder, then from knee to elbow, then from ankle to wrist. And again, this is one of those stretches where don't look for a muscle that's being stretched. We're stretching through fascia, through connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, and other connective tissues, and the wrappings of the muscles. And inhale, reach back up, come back to center. How about, let's see, let's do, instead of a warrior pose, well, first let's do standing on a Hatasana. Okay, so this is our puppy, but it's also a kitty pose. So look, I'm sinking down, and sinking down is going to allow me to bend more here, right? So I'm sinking down, reaching up, pulling the hands back, opening the chest, opening all through here. A little bit of a back bend, but this is not really a back bend, right? Which is why I'm not staring straight up, because I'm really just trying to open through this upper body here. And this is one of the only poses that really gets it in just this way. Palms forward. I don't know if my palms are out of the frame. My palms are facing forward. So this is a pose you can do repeatedly throughout the day. Right now, you could hold it longer than we are about to. I'm about to release. You could hold it longer and catch up to us. Take one more deep breath. Release. Excellent. Okay, great. Let's do a movement from Kalari. Again, this is also from India. It's different than yoga. But this is just as good as any of our warrior poses. This is the Kalari lion. So I'll do it once facing the camera, a couple times facing the camera. And then, so what we're going to be doing is shifting from side to side. Remember to take your weight off the foot that you're pivoting. This is what our lower body's doing, shifting. Okay, and so watch what we don't want to do. If I have a narrow stance like this, I don't want to be coming out to here. If you want to really go for it, you're going to take a much wider stance so that you still protect your knees so that you're not over lunging, right? And then what is the upper body doing? It's like this. So this is the same hand as my forward foot, okay? And then as I pivot, this wraps around, and then we come out on this side. Okay, if you didn't see what that was, I'll do it again. Around to here. If you got it, just keep doing it. I'm going to face away. So in Kalari, they're in a really deep squat, and they do it, I mean like a super deep squat, okay? Whenever we squat, you want to keep your torso vertical. So in other words, I'm not like, when I say squat, I don't mean like this. You're always nice and vertical. Breathe freely. No tension in your claws. But there's good stretching in your fingers, but not tension. How about one more to each side? You should feel things kind of loosening up as we go. All right, come back to center. So, time for our balance. We don't have a cat-themed balance in yoga that I can think of, but in Tai Chi there's tons. So we'll do Ride the Tiger. So it's as if to literally, so these fanciful Tai Chi names, if you study them, they actually mean something if you can figure it out. And Ride the Tiger would be just like that. If you were foolhardy enough to jump on the back of a tiger and somehow had a halter on it, and you grasp that, and the tiger takes off, and you go almost flying off the back, right? So this is my opposite foot to my opposite hand, and this happens to be a loose fist, which is proper for this form. And my supporting leg, I'm sinking down into my supporting leg. So let's try the other side. If I was kicking with my left foot before, so I'm going to kick with my right. I jump on the tiger's back. The tiger takes off. And something like that. So there's twisting. Okay. So the only difference between this and the Shiva dancer would be, Shiva dancer, I'd be facing you. And I can't remember the mudras. Probably, I can't remember the actual mudras. But in this case, this hand's out, this is close. So it's no big deal. Very similar. Excellent. Okay, so how about, we're going to head back down to the mat, so you might have another sip of water. So Venu's not really participating a lot today for a change. How about, the Kalari cat would be, first we come to hanging forward bend. So you might not be able to watch me and do this at the same time. So while you're hanging and hanging forward bend, you can watch me now. So stay where you are, but just watch. So I might just come down to a squat, and the Kalari cat is just as simple. The basic would just be as simple as from a squat coming back to lunge. See how my elbows are on the outside of my knees? Now, it's not that easy. You can make it harder. Come into your crow balance, and then jump a foot back. And that's more like how they do it. So I'm back up here with you in hanging forward bend. We will all squat down with the elbows outside of the knees, and you may either come into your crow balance and shoot your right foot back, or just either step your right foot back into lunge. Normally our lunge is with the arm outside, running on the inside, on the outside. So either that or crow balance. Okay, and then we've already done lunge, so we don't have to do lunge. I'm back at my squat, or I'm back at my crow balance for the other side, and back I go. So that is the Kalari cat. Let's come back to a squat, and then we can we've already done a lunge, so why don't we just go back to downward facing DOG. But again, this could just as easily be a downward facing cat. They do this pose just as much as dogs do. Right, Banu? Right. He hears me. So then we'll emulate a cat tail. Normally, so first of all, check your grip on your mat. And maybe grab your mat and scrunch it up in your hands to make sure that you don't lose your grip. And then one leg comes up. Normally I tell you to keep your leg nice and straight, but today it can just be like a cat's tail, just wandering around, feeling around. When it comes over to the side, you get that wonderful hip opener. See, I'm turning my hip outward. See, it doesn't work the other way. The other way doesn't open the hip, it closes the hip. This way it opens the hip. You should be able to feel that. All right. Whenever you're ready, check your grip again, and then do the other leg. Anything you want, just improvise. I'm almost done. Back to downward facing DLG. All right, drop down to hands and knees. So another ancient hatha cat pose is Via Garasana, or it's really like a half bow. So I'm going to take my left arm up, reach it up, and back, and then look for my other leg. Virasana. So we want to, so I'm not just dragging on this foot, I'm trying to expand outward, trying to make like a big bow shape. It is a half bow. It doesn't look anything like a bow. Again, it's not what it looks like, it's how it feels. So feel an even expansion throughout your whole body. And we'll lower that leg down, and we can go for the other one. Take your time. You gotta let your leg get used to this. If you have tight quadriceps like me, it takes a while just to make sure you're not going to pull anything. And then you can expand more comfortably. Feel the hip flexor even in the front of the hip. One more breath. And then we'll lower that down. Go into cat and cow. While you're doing cat and cow, I'm going to go off camera for just a moment. Hey, Bob. Hey, I'm shooting a video. Give me 15 minutes, all right? cat and cow. Sit back in child pose. So now we're going to come into plank, and we will try a little cat pounce. You have to protect your lower back by engaging your abs really strongly. But remember, we were doing this rolling movement through the spine. So if you do this now, you'll feel your weight shift back into your legs. Don't try to stop that. That's the whole point. And either way, whether you're rolling forward or backwards, it still works. It's just a little pounce. So that was a backwards roll. I can roll forward. So I only do it when it feels right. And just do a little tiny hop. So you can play around with that on your own. There's another thing we can do is come to plank and then drop down to four-limb staff and come forward and then back. This is like a stalking tiger, and then back to child pose. So play around with that. I'm going to pause for just a second. All right, I think we're back. We have people coming over. So I think we were in child pose, right? So whatever you're doing, let's move on into our side pose, which would be really nice and yin. This is cat grasping its own tail. So this is one of the ones where there's no left or right. So it doesn't matter whatever side you're on, you're going to rest your head on your arm, totally relaxed. Your top leg is going to come forward for stability. Most of our side poses are almost a little bit of a balance, but not this one. The top arm is going to reach back for the bottom ankle. And this now we can just relax into this and get a really good, just a nice half bow, the way it should be done. There's no pressure on the abdomen. And there's just you can play around with this. You can move the leg or foot to feel how that affects what's going on. And again, this is one of those poses that you could hold for a long, long time. And now you could do it by pausing the video. So let's say maybe you pause the video and then 10 minutes has elapsed. And now you're ready to do the other side. So you come back and you look and you see, oh, we're changing sides. Always change sides as gracefully as possible, because that's part of our practice too. Okay, settle down on your arm, top leg forward, top arm reaches back for bottom leg, and then gently extend. We got plenty of time here. So maybe you pause the video, 10 minutes has elapsed, you have the longest, most relaxed quadriceps in the city of Tucson. And we gently release and roll onto your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Remember, we do this so often, I hope that people don't think this has anything to do with your legs. This has nothing to do with your legs. This is all about releasing your lower back gently. Super effective. But again, where you place your intention has a lot to do with it. If you're thinking about your legs when you're doing this, then your back is really almost unaware of what's going on. So my mind is on my back, and I don't care about my knees. It has nothing to do with my knees. Certainly has nothing to do with my hands. Don't think about your hands. It's all about awareness. Drop your feet to the floor. We'll do a bridge with a leg lift to simulate a cattail. So remember, when we do our bridge, don't plank up. We're going to roll up. Okay, so counterintuitively, the first thing that happens is the abs go down, and then the tailbone points upward, and you can begin to peel the spine away from the mat, one vertebra at a time. Pay careful attention for blocks of vertebra coming up together. That just means you're going to have to work on that spot a little more to free those up a little bit, not with force. We come up as high as we can. In yoga, you join your hands under your back, although you don't do this in some of your other classes. Some people will walk their feet away from them to make it a little harder. And then, like I mentioned, we'll do one leg lift. And just keep it here, breathing, extending that foot up. Foot is pointed. One more breath. Lower that leg. Walk your feet back towards you. Get your arms out of the way. And now we're going to come back down, bringing the spine back into contact with the mat. One vertebra at a time. And even hug your knees to your chest again, just to loosen your back up. We're going to go back up for that other leg. Draw the abs down. The hip just naturally rotates up when you do that. And you can come off the mat nice and slow, rolling up through the spine. Coming up as high as you can, joining the hands underneath you. If you can't join your hands underneath you, just tuck your shoulders under. Maybe walk your feet away from you a little bit, and then the other leg comes up, breathing. And take one more breath here. Really extend up as high as you can. Try to poke a hole in the ceiling with your big toe. And then we'll lower that leg down. Prepare to come back down. Come back down nice and slow, rolling down through the spine. Working on those tight spots. Gently articulating the spine. Hug your knees to your chest. And for our final twist, we'll bring the arms out to the sides and just oscillate the knees from side to side, just like a cat wagging its tail. And so what we're going to do is we're going to end the class differently. I'm going to end with our final thought, and then I'm going to allow you to meditate for as long as you want. And you may actually want to just turn the video off so the video does not autoplay onto a conspiracy theory or another yoga video or something like that. So, in other words, what I'm going to do is so we'll go one more time to each side. This will stop oscillating. Go to the other side. So this time when I come back to the other side, I'm just going to let momentum bring me up to sitting, cross-legged. So I want to thank you very much for joining me. I hope this has helped, and I can't wait to see you all back in person again. And I'm ending with a quote from Swami Sivananda, which is not what the CDC would say. He said, illness begins with I, wellness begins with me, with we. And he didn't mean we should congregate in large groups. He meant that separateness is an unhealthy state of mind, and community or togetherness, even just in a state of mind, is healthy. And namaste, and so glad to join you. So now what we're going to do now is I'm just going to settle back, and we'll just go into our standard meditation. So remember, before we even get there, because you might want to turn the video off first, is that meditation is not a big deal. All you're doing is calming your mind and usually focusing on your breath. Most meditation techniques begin with the breath, doing something with the breath. But calm yourself. You can do if you like, you can try the relaxation technique where you can make this last for an hour. You can start at the top of your head, and you can literally relax every hair on your head individually, down to your forehead, down to your eyebrows, eyelids, bridge of the nose, each nostril, and every part of your face, just moving slowly down your body. And then if you lose track of that, you don't necessarily, because you're so relaxed, you can just go with that. You don't have to draw your attention back to the last part that you relaxed, right? So if your mind drifts off and you're completely relaxed, that's fine. That's part of your meditation. So some people say, no, if you need to pull yourself back. If you're thinking about something completely different, then you might want to pull yourself back. But even then, in meditation, sometimes you have brilliant thoughts. So you don't always want to drag your focus back to your meditation, because you may be having a brilliant insight about your life, right? So anyways, so we'll lay back, come into our corpse pose, and go into your long, even, natural breath pattern, and then go into any kind of meditation you like. And actually, I should have told you to turn the video off by now, but if you haven't, turn the video off. So great to see you, and namaste. Bye.